Emma Lawson had spent the last 10 years building one of the biggest technology companies in the country. At just 34, she was known as the Ice Queen CEO because she rarely smiled and never mixed business with emotions. Her schedule was packed with board meetings, investor calls, and international flights. That Friday evening, exhausted after a 48-hour business trip, Emma boarded a flight to New York in business class. She slipped into her window seat, barely noticing the man sitting beside her. He wore simple clothes, held a worn backpack, and quietly helped his 6-year-old daughter buckle her seatbelt across the aisle. His name was Daniel Carter, a single father who worked 2 jobs just to give his daughter a better life. As the plane climbed into the clouds, Emma opened her laptop, but her tired eyes refused to stay open. Within minutes, she drifted into a deep sleep. Without realizing it, her head slowly leaned onto Daniel's shoulder. He looked surprised but didn't move, afraid that shifting would wake her. Instead, he gently adjusted his jacket so she would be more comfortable. Other passengers smiled at the unexpected scene, unaware that this ordinary-looking father and one of the country's most powerful CEOs were about to experience a flight that would change both of their lives forever. About an hour into the flight, everything changed. Without warning, the aircraft hit severe turbulence, sending drinks spilling across the cabin and frightening passengers. Oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling as the captain announced an unexpected emergency landing due to a technical issue. Little Sophie screamed in fear and began crying uncontrollably. Before Daniel could calm her, Emma woke up, confused to find herself resting on a stranger's shoulder. Embarrassed, she quickly apologized, but there was no time for explanations. Sophie clung to her father, trembling with fear. To Emma's surprise, Daniel stayed remarkably calm. He wrapped one arm around his daughter and gently reassured everyone nearby, speaking with a confidence that eased the panic. Emma noticed something unusual. His actions were too composed for an ordinary passenger. Moments later, a flight attendant rushed over, explaining that a passenger several rows behind had collapsed from a heart attack. Without hesitation, Daniel handed Sophie to Emma and ran toward the unconscious man. To everyone's amazement, he immediately began CPR with the precision of a trained professional. The cabin fell silent as passengers watched him fight to save a stranger's life. After several tense minutes, the man finally gasped for air, and the entire cabin burst into applause. Emma stood frozen, holding Sophie safely in her arms. She had assumed Daniel was just an ordinary single father struggling through life. But now she realized she knew nothing about the incredible man sitting beside her. That emergency landing would soon reveal a truth, even more surprising than anything she had witnessed so far. After the plane landed safely, paramedics rushed aboard and confirmed that Daniel's quick actions had saved the passenger's life. Emma walked beside him through the terminal, still carrying Sophie's small backpack. Curiosity finally overcame her. "You're not just a single dad, are you?" she asked. Daniel smiled politely and admitted that he had once been one of the city's most respected emergency physicians. 3 years earlier, his wife had died from a rare illness, leaving him to raise Sophie alone. Unable to balance endless hospital shifts with caring for his daughter, he resigned from his prestigious career and accepted flexible jobs just to be present for her. Emma was speechless. She had spent years judging people by expensive suits, business titles, and first impressions, while the man beside her had quietly sacrificed everything for love. Just then, Sophie's backpack accidentally opened, spilling out a handful of colorful drawings. Emma picked one up and froze. It showed Sophie holding hands with her father beneath a bright sun, with the words written in childish handwriting, "My daddy is my hero." Tears filled Emma's eyes as she realized that true success wasn't measured by wealth or power, but by the lives we touch. Before they parted ways, she handed Daniel her business card and softly said, "If you ever need anything, call me." Daniel smiled, thanked her, and walked away holding Sophie's hand. Emma watched them disappear into the crowd, unaware that this unexpected meeting was about to change not only Daniel's future, but her own forever. A month later, Emma couldn't stop thinking about Daniel and Sophie. The image of that little drawing stayed in her heart, reminding her that kindness and sacrifice were worth more than any business deal. She invited Daniel to her company's headquarters, not to offer him charity, but an opportunity Knowing his medical background and his calm leadership under pressure, she asked him to lead a new health and emergency response program for her employees. Daniel accepted, grateful for the chance to build a stable future for Sophie while returning to meaningful work. Over the following months, the program transformed the company, and employees admired Daniel's compassion and integrity. Emma also changed. She no longer judged people by their appearance or job title. Instead, she began listening to their stories, discovering that every person carried struggles invisible to the world. One afternoon, Sophie ran into Emma's office with a new drawing. This time it showed 3 smiling figures holding hands beneath a bright blue sky. At the top, she had written, "Kindness brings people together." Emma smiled with tears in her eyes, realizing that an accidental moment on a flight had become the greatest lesson of her life. Sometimes the most valuable people don't arrive wearing expensive suits. They arrive with humble hearts, quiet courage, and unconditional love. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for more inspiring and unforgettable stories. Until next time, remember, one small act of kindness can change a life forever. The end.